Okay, so the plan is to make another one of these because I need one on my helmet. And yeah, they do sell these for holding your phone in there, but they're all plastic and they just fall apart. This one works well if you have a case on the phone. So see, I got one piece of steel. I bent it, welded it onto another angle iron, and just welded a nut on the end of it. So, and I got a bolt here, and we'll weld something on there. The plan is to just cut off a piece of that, and I think that'll be enough. Now, I measured it. It's so you need a part that bends over. So basically, I just cut that off. I find that when you're cutting stuff like this, that's what really wears down these discs. So what I do is I keep a whole bunch of used ones because I know they're gonna wear down fast anyway. And I just use these on the tin. Because the tin isn't very thick, you don't need much blade to get through it, and they do wear down fast. And then after they get too small for the tin, then they get thrown out. So this bar here is about the same diameter as the thickness of the phone. So, wide. This bar wide is about the thickness of the phone. So I'm going to use that, and you have to clamp that on there with like another clamp. This is not aluminum I'm using here. This is stainless steel. That's why it's kind of a light color. It's starting to look like the bottom of it. I think I bend this back a bit. You actually can test it right on the side of the phone to make sure it's a little wider than I wanted, but I don't think that makes a difference. Just bent that in a bit. That works well. Now the rest of this needs to be flattened. And this welder quit working again. Somehow I never get the parts for it when I need it, and now the wire doesn't go out the nozzle. Something's weird going on with it. Sometimes you can fix that. You just take it apart, pull the wire through with a plier or something. That usually fixes that. Okay, so now I have the phone out of the phone case. And so what I need to do is put that over the phone case. And when I weld that nut, I want to make sure I don't weld it too far down, because then we'd have to start from scratch. So this nut goes like that, and then you weld the back of it. And then I could even weld it a little higher if I can, and then that way there's room to put the phone in. But usually you can bend the metal a little bit, and that'll adjust it. You can bend the bottom down, and then this goes in there, and this will tighten it, and then I'll weld something on there. And so it'll be just like this one. And then we need to weld the angle iron on the back there, and I'll trace another angle iron with this one so I get the holes right. And then yeah, and just basically we're duplicating this part here, and just weld that on there. I'll make a mark or something where it should go. So right now I have the phone just loose in the tripod there, so I didn't tighten it so it doesn't damage the phone. So now what I need to do is put this in there. Not that tight, just so nothing moves. Now the case goes there, and then I have the nut here. So that's definitely tacked now. And I melted the phone case a little bit. Not very much. That's pretty minor damage. That's almost nothing. I thought that might happen, but it doesn't really matter. There might be better ways to do that, but now it's tack welded. It's pretty centered. Doesn't have to be perfect. But now what I want to do is weld it from the sides and maybe a little more on the top, but you don't want to weld it underneath. That could be an issue because you need the phone to slip in here. So okay, so we are making the angle piece. So we're making this angle iron that gets welded to this piece. And this is what we have. And then I'll weld like a knob on the top or something. So, yeah. So what I do is I have a piece of wood so that I can drill through the steel. Makes it easier so everything's clamped. And the drill bit's kind of a weird short one, but it fits. Here's another antique drill. still works, but it doesn't have a speed dial on it, so. Or reverse. It's just a one-way drill. It's a simple old drill. Still works good, though. The chalk is a little worn out. But other than that, you just, see, I already tapped these. Or punch with a punch. So that's good. And then I can always get a chainsaw file it out if it doesn't fit perfectly. And I know this one's a little thinner than this, but it doesn't matter because it's still going to be strong enough. And then we'll tack weld it just to play around with the welder, see if I can get it to work again. But it needs a new nozzle, and I'm just a complete moron for I still don't have that yet. We just never got around to buying one, so. But this whole nozzle and cable can get changed. You take it out there, and my hand is reflecting a lot of light. Look at that. It's like hands of God. Look at that. So reflecting a lot of light. The camera's just picking that up. So weird. Because I'm a genius. So yeah, let's drill that. Okay, so now I cut the angle out, and now we're just going to weld it on there. So, yeah, let's do that. And then I need to put a knob on the end of that bolt, and then we'll have ourselves another phone holder. And I would film it, but I needed to keep looking at this to make sure I got the design right, so. It's just going to be a bunch of sparks, and it's not going to be that interesting anyway, but. I filmed everything of making this one, so it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so here's both of them. And this one, everything's welded up on it. It's done. There's that little thing on the top there. And I just tested it. It works pretty well, but it doesn't quite grab the phone as tight as this one. So I think I'll put this one on my helmet, and then this one will go on the tripod. Because if it falls off when I'm riding, it's a bigger problem than if it falls off. I don't think it's going to fall off if it's on the tripod. So, the phone, that is. So I think I'll put this one on here. It goes like that. And the holes, I think they line up okay. And then I'll put that on there, and then I'll put the phone in there and make sure none of the tripod is blocking the view of the camera. And I think it'll work pretty good. Okay, so this is where we're at. This thing is in there. Everything works. What I did is I put a couple of big nuts for spacers in there. So I think that'll help. So that way this knob doesn't interfere with the phone when it's in there. And I think that's good. So it's bolted together with some lock washers and nuts. And now I'll put the phone in there. Okay, I like that. Actually, it's showing a little bit here, but what I can do is I just put the phone the other way, and then the camera would be over here. That fixes that problem. I guess I could bend it up a little bit, too. I guess that fixes that. I just bent it up a bit. And now there's nothing in the camera. And now I can use this one for my helmet. So this one doesn't work quite as well, but I think it'll still be fine. I like the other, because see, this one has a slight little lip on there that kind of helps to grab the phone a bit better, but other than that, I think it's fine. I have an old, like if you have an old charger cord that doesn't work anymore, I don't know, you could tie that on here and then you plug the charger cord into the phone, so if it did fall out, you know, it might help. But I think that works pretty well. Actually, one other thing I should do is I need to weld a thing on here. That's for turning this, but it seems to turn okay. It's to the point where it doesn't really move. You know, this has got play in it. I hate that. I can't get rid of that though. That's always like that. It's not too bad otherwise, though. You know, that control tightens up. So not the best system, but you know, it does better than it looks like it does. And this leg is, see, it's bent a bit, and that controls the up or down. So it works, I guess. Maybe not the best, but this video will be, you know, about making one of those. Again, it'll be kind of a short video. And here's my box of, you know, nuts that have that kind of thread. We have nuts that have the thin thread. We don't have any bolts, so I just use this as a spacer kit. Works well. And if you do have the odd bolt with that, you got a whole bunch of nuts. But one day I want to, you know, I got a bunch of broken tools down there. I'll fix, well, I can't really fix them, but I turn them into something. Well, I'm not sure. That wraps up making another one of those. I don't know what to call those. I guess that's an iPhone holder or cell phone holder for filming.